Hey, this is a video update. I guess what a few things I've been working on in preparation for TFCon. I didn't really know how to film this while getting a good focus on it, so I decided to use my phone. I made 4 different variants of Optimus Prime's helmet. Now this is just this head is being used for a number of different reasons, and possibly a full transforming Optimus Prime when I finished. That's kind of how it started. Actually started with an Autobot Matrix, and it turned into an Optimus Prime. But in lieu of the Shockwave comic edition that's going to be released with the Optimus Prime head as seen in issue 5 or 6 of Transformers, I figured that this base actually works really well. This is actually part of the Transformer that I was working on, and it works quite well just as a head on a desk, which is what it's been in my display case for the longest time. A few additions I did is I added a port on the bottom so that you could put like a 5mm blast effect or something like that. And then I put a port on the back of this device here just so you could put, well, what's coming with the Hasbro one is like a cable that looks like the page in the comic, and there's also an extended 5mm port on the bottom, which attaches to the ball joint there. So also that head presumably connects to the Kingdom Optimus Prime, and you could swap the head off. So this one also has a head swap gimmick. Let's see if I can finagle this with one hand. So number 1, I'm going to show the blast effect. I'm not sure where on your display that's going to happen, but it can happen. Oh, and the ball joint. So if I remove, you know what, maybe if I put this phone down, I can use it. Great. Wow. So this ball joint, it's a 5mm ball joint, and it comes on like a little cup on the back, and that slides out. His face also slides out, and yeah, that can be replaced. You put that on the Hasbro one, and then you slide the head on. Boom. I made it very modular, so if it gets loose, which is looser than it started, it's not necessarily loose right now, but if it gets loose, you could just put something on the back there to squish those 2 pieces together, because the way it works, see if I can take his face out, is it's kind of sandwiched by, the ball joint is sandwiched by pressure. And if I put the front part on, there's always like a slight gap in between, right? So it requires pressure in order to stay there. And yeah, if it gets loose, you just put like a piece of tape on the back or something, and then you pop it back in. That hole there is a 3mm hole that you can get from like a Gundam sprue. You could pop that in if you want to keep alignment. It's not necessary, but I kept that in the design. The helmets are interchangeable. Oh, that's what I wanted to show off. The next thing is that the eyes are empty because there's a slot there for the eyes. I have a whole bunch here that need to be popped off, and just the edges shaved off, so I could pop that in there. But the idea is that I'm going to print them in a different color, or paint them in a different color, and then that way it can pop in and look nice and fresh. So yeah, that's this Optimus Prime that I'm doing for TFCon sale at our Children of Primus table. Now I also did a adapter for NES controllers. This is a 2-player adapter. I did a whole bunch of iterations of this, and finally got one that not only works, but it stays together, because that was the problem with the last one, is that it fell apart on me because it wasn't rigid enough. This is the original. This is just 1-player, and then I had to make the 2-player for the TFCon so that people can play 2-player at our booth. So that is today's work. Printed a whole bunch of those, and I did that today as well. Yeah. Here's a whole bunch more faces. Oh, right. And the little guy, here's a pair of legs. So this is like really tiny. I don't have anything to scale it with. I'm not sure. I guess a blast effect. If you could figure that's a 5mm port on the end there. Yeah, that's a little tiny guy. Here's the top of his body. I just need to do a head, and I'm trying to figure out a way to connect the two together because I was using brass rods and running out of brass rods, and they're not actually cheap, not easy to work with. So I'm thinking of a different solution in order to connect the bottom half and top half and allow it to swivel, and then a head, and then yeah, that's a little character that's going to be also at the dealer table. Cool. Open to suggestions about these heads here. I'm not going to keep this going on anymore. Thanks for watching, and I'll keep you posted in the next video. Ciao.